What's up, everybody? It's time to fill in floor joists in the first bay here. We're content with our grade and our moisture barrier. We're going to copy layout all the way along. Actually, you can see on the drawing. It's the easiest thing. It's easy for us and it's easy for whomever may service or, work here in the future. If your layout's all the same, there's no reason to mix it up. And you'll find that in most new builds and stuff like that. So we're going to, essentially, the way that I looked at this project from beginning to now has been, as we stand here, basically facing the house. So on the left-hand side, we're going to start and have full 16-inch bays all the way along until we make up, this little weird piece at the end, which we may just skip if nobody's watching. Anyway, and that's because it's 6'1", or it's little, it makes no difference, a couple of inches. So what am I saying? We need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What comes after 11? I forget. 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 pieces at a certain length. Also, you want to be sure of, working from a drawing. You want to check real life too. It makes no difference that you make pieces based on your drawing if, real life it's different. And so I haven't even got a length on there that I know of. I can go back and check actually, but if I just push here quick, I find out that 81, and I've done this already, 81 is what you need, basically. You want to give yourself a little bit of room. I normally give myself at least 1/8 of an inch on the overall measurement, so I haven't got a war of getting the pieces down in there. And 81, frankly, it looks good, to prove it to you the whole way here, right? So, did a really nice job of setting up. This is where setting your posts comes in handy. Otherwise, you can make a cascading, a series of floor joists that are cascading down or up in length, however you want to look at that. What are we going to do? We're going to do a batch cut. I've got 2 layers thick, that's 3 inches, and I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 again pieces here. And we're going to just put a fresh end on everybody. What I did was pack everybody tightly up on a pair of sawhorses. You can use clamps, you can ratchet strap a couple times. I just put a 3.5-inch screw, into my sawhorse, so I've got a foothold here and on there. And I'm looking for everybody moving. Not sure if you can see that, but everybody's moving as one piece, and that's desirable. I don't want to be halfway through a cut or somewhere in there and have things start, because these are slippery and wet, treated lumber, and it's kind of a drippy morning, and we're in the shade, and in the middle of your cut, shoo, somebody, the forces change, and the friction holding everybody together changes, and anyway, you've got a problem, and your saw is pushing pieces of wood and it's pinching the blade. That's a catastrophe. Not on the fresh end cut, but once you've made the other dimensional line and you're cutting on the other end, as luck would have it, that'll happen to you a lot on the other side of it, and that ruins your final cut on all the pieces, or at least a few in that area. That's the danger of doing this, so be aware of that. What's going to allow us to get this done are Bigfoot, or Bigfoot's a brand. Bigfoot's a skill saw brand. This is the Milwaukee 10 1/4, 6 1/2 dozen on that. That's the right way to use 6 1/2 dozen, basically. The Bigfoot saw is a 10 1/4 saw. I'm going to pull that staple out. But note, the large diameter allows for a deeper cut to the arbor, allows to get all the way through 3 inches. It did all of our notching on this job, and it's going to batch cut all of our joists, and so with 2 cuts here, we'll make 12 joists instead of doing layout on 12 pieces and sucking down battery power with our little saw that we love. I'm willing to make a concession and run a power cord. It pissed me off already this morning. I've tripped through it a couple of times. The other thing I want to note is, notice how on every circular saw you got a big side of the shoe and a little side. So we're not going to make this cut like a jackass with a tiny little bit of shoe. I mean, you end up with 3 or 4 inches, but still the weight of the saw is out here. So we're going to come around and we're going to put the majority of the shoe, on what's going to stay for lumber, and we'll let the little pieces fall off to the other side. So I never know how much is too much explanation, but maybe you're just chilling at your desk. Maybe you just want to live vicariously through me, slogging around in the dog poo yard and cutting a bunch of wet 2x8s. Anyway, that's what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. We'll see ya.